It's the new year, and I'm really excited for 2024. And this is the time where everyone's talking about their New Year's resolutions. It's a new year, it's a new me, right? No, I don't think so. I used to think that, and I used to be like, oh, I'm going to be a new person. I got a whole new leaf. I'm going to change over, and I've learned that doesn't work. It's New Year, it's the same old you. However, it's a good time to sit back and reflect on where you've been, what improvements you've made, what you've not improved so much over, and what you want to do for the next year. So I do agree with the reflections and trying to improve, but I think about more of it as just a more general thing. So what I do is I decide what areas I want to improve on, or what I have been improving on, and I look at how I've done with it and where I need to go with it. So that's what I'm going to talk you through, is looking at what I'm going to improve in this next year, or my focus. I have 3 areas that I'm going to talk about here. The first one is self-sufficiency. I used to there was a time where I was like, oh, homesteading. I'm not really so fond of that label anymore. I've watched a lot and I don't really ever see that kind of lifestyle being mine. I have a full-time job that I like and I plan on continuing with. But I do want to be a little bit more self-sufficient, so I'm working towards that. My second part is looking at financial things, trying to save money, trying to get into a better place. So that's the second part. And the third is health and fitness. Health and fitness is definitely something I need to work on. So those are my 3 areas. So I'm going to show you what I do when I think about how I want to improve. I kind of review where I've been on it. We'll think about where I want to go and what kind of steps can get me there. So the first thing I'll talk about is self-sufficiency, and I feel like I've done pretty well with this past year. I got chickens and I kept them alive. I've tried to have chickens before and they have always died. I have a lot of predators. I have my neighbor's Chihuahua. He actually killed some of my chickens. So I can't let them free range. And then I had to build a predator-proof chicken run, and then a coop that they can't get into. And so far, where's the wood to knock on? So far they're still alive and doing well. So I'm really excited about that. I love my chickens. And I've been working on that gardening. I did more gardening this year. Where I'm going to go in this 2024 is I'm going to get quail, because I cannot have roosters. I cannot have chicken roosters because it's not zoned, but I can have male quail, which means I could actually breed quail, and I could breed them for eggs, for meat, though that's something else I'm going to have to work on if I want to get that. But I'm going to look into that. I got my quail hatching eggs. I'm going to see how I do. The second thing for self-sufficiency is that, for reasons we won't go into, my yard has been encroaching into the wilderness. It is taking over. I am fighting back against it. I am fighting the wilderness, cutting through the brush, cutting through, trying to get areas tamed back again. And as I do, I'm trying to get things planted in the ground. Like last year I did all raised bed or pot container garden. But I have 1.5 acres of land and I should use it to put some plants in the ground. So that's what I'm going to be doing this year. Right now I'm just going to focus just around the house first, and then I'll start to slowly, year by year, build up outward as I gain more of my territory back from the wilderness that has claimed it. So that's my plans for 2024. And I think I did pretty well in 2023. So I think I'm in a good stead for the next part. So next one we're going to go through is financial. And the review is, I did pretty well in 2023. I did really well at saving money. But I'm broke now because I basically saved a lot of money. And I had people ask me like I was broke, if I needed help. No, I'm okay. I was just saving up a lot of money because I had a really old car and it finally had to be replaced in 2023. So I need to work on saving up more money now. I did pretty well. I was pretty proud of myself, but now that whole cushion that I had, that in case there's an emergency, is not as much there. So I need to continue working on saving money and curbing my little spendthrift ways. And that's one thing that's really hard with looking at being self-sufficient is you would think, oh, it's so much cheaper because you don't have to go to the grocery store to buy things. No, those things are more expensive when you have all the infrastructure that goes in there. So I have to be careful on how I spend money to become more self-sufficient and kind of, put limits on it and kind of slowly build forward. I also have other projects that I want to do around, and I've got to save up the money for that. So I feel pretty well with what I did, but I got a lot of work to do in 2024. And the other session is health and fitness, and I'm looking at my notes because I would forget if I didn't have notes on this. Health and fitness is one area that I've really been struggling with. I've had some health issues since like 2021, and it's been really hard for me. And I feel like every time I start building it back up and start getting back to where I am, the health issues crop back up, and then I end up gaining weight, losing fitness, and going back there, and it's a cycle thing. It's becoming frustrating. But I really want to get back to my fitness. I want to be able to get back to being able to run 3 miles. I want to get back to where I'm not as heavy as I am right now. I want to get back to having energy like I used to. So that's one thing that's going to be harder for me to focus on this year because I didn't do so well in 2023. Again, a lot of what pulls me down is that I start to have the health issues where I start to feel too sick to go out and do things, and rather than just sit there and stare at the TV. And I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Like right now, it's like I was trying to run, but now I'm like, what if I just walk every day? It's a low impact. It's not as intense as I want to be, but maybe if I just do that more repeatedly, lower impact, maybe that'll help me get the fitness without triggering the sickness, if that's what's triggering it. Because I'm still trying to figure it out. I've actually been going to the doctor, and we're trying to narrow down what's going on with me. But until then, I'm thinking of what I can do to help build it up without maybe making things worse. And so I'm going to try more low impact more frequently. This year is one thing I'm going to do. So also got to get back into counting calories. I do better when I count calories. I just do. So those are things that I'm going to do for 2024. Those are the areas that I really want to focus on improving this year. And they're kind of the same things I worked on last year. And that's just how life is. You keep working on things, you keep trying to improve. Because if I stop trying to improve it, I'm a lot lighter than I used to be, and I don't want to go back to where I was. So I've got to keep with it, and I've got to get better at this. I've halted my weight gain back. I'm still 100 pounds less than I used to be, but I was a lot less than this. And I know that if I don't keep working on it, I will gain all that weight back. So I've got to keep working on it, and I want to get back down. And so that means that even though I haven't done well in the past, I've still got to try and keep moving forward and figuring out new ways of doing it. Again, my goal this year is slow and steady. I keep wanting to go fast and really push myself, and let's go out and straight train until my arm muscles can't move. Let's go do this. Let's go run. Let's run until I just want to fall over. But I think that might be what's contributing maybe to my sickness. And if I just go slow and steady, maybe I can get it back up to it. So anyway, those are what I'm working on in 2024. It's the same things that I worked on last year, but I've improved a lot in a couple of them. And another one, I've still got work to do. Lots of work to do. What are you working on in 2024? It's one of the things that it's not just I'm going to make this resolution and then you turn around and stop doing it. That doesn't help you with life. And thinking that doesn't really help. But just where do you want to improve in life? And how are you going to get there? Where have you been? And what are the steps you're going to take to get there? Those are the questions that really help you out when you're trying to think of how to improve. And remember, till next time, keep on improving. You don't have to be perfect.